Hello, everybody. My name is Roy Nemmer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and welcome to another video. And this time around, it's the end of 2023, and we're going to do something that we've done the last 2 years ever since we started this channel, and that is a year in review. Although last year was a little bit different, we did not review moments or matches. Instead, we reviewed Argentina's World Cup goals. But the year before, we did a top 15 moments of 2021. Both links are down in the description. And now it's time for the year in review of 2023, the top 10 moments of the Argentina national team. And this includes national team matches or goals or players or whatever it might be. It's all included in here. So let's get to it. Number 10, it's the Argentina national team debuts. Only two players made their debut this year with the national team. Can you name them? I'll give you guys a couple of seconds. Only two, and both of them were in the month of June. The first one is Alejandro Garnacho versus Australia on June 15. He was brought on as a substitute. And the second one, also a Premier League player, Facundo Buonanotte. This one was on June 19 versus Indonesia. And those are the two players that made their debut with the national team. Long-term wise, who knows what kind of a career they could potentially have with their clubs and with Argentina. But that comes in at number 10. It's the debuts. And let's get to number 9. And by the way, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of my list and what would be your list. Coming in at number 9, it's the Argentines in European finals, in club finals. There were a lot of them. At least one Argentine lifted the Conference League, the Europa League, and the Champions League. And beginning with the Conference League, Manuel Lanzini and West Ham United won the final versus Fiorentina, who also had Nicolas Gonzalez and Lucas Martinez Cuarta. So Lanzini, the Argentine winner there. If we get to the Europa League, once more, we were certain of an Argentine to win it. Was it going to be Paulo Dybala with Roma, or was it going to be the number of Argentine players, the overwhelming number of Argentine players with Sevilla? And ultimately, it was Sevilla. So we had Gonzalo Montiel, Lucas Ocampos, Eric Lamela, Marcos Acuna, and Papu Gomez. And it was Sevilla that won it on penalty kicks. And wouldn't you guess it, it was none other than Gonzalo Montiel who scored the winning penalty for his club. I wonder where I've seen that before from Montiel. I wonder. And then, of course, in the big final, the Champions League final, it was Inter versus Manchester City. It was Lautaro Martinez versus Julian Alvarez. Not to forget Joaquin Correa of Inter as well. But it was really the number 9 versus the number 9. And it was the number 9 that won it. It was Julian Alvarez of Manchester City. And while Lautaro started the match for Inter, had a good opportunity to score and didn't, it was Alvarez that went on to win it 1-0 for City. And another thing to add for Alvarez is he won the Club World Cup for Manchester City, scoring 2 goals in the final versus Fluminense. One of them was a chested goal, very, very similar to Lionel Messi scoring in 2009 versus Alejandro Sabella's Estudiantes. 13, 14 years ago now. Absolutely incredible when you really think of it. So we had a lot of Argentines in finals. That comes in at our number 9. And then we get to number 8. This one is more of a match, but also the emotion that came with it. March 2023, Argentina versus Panama, the first match since winning the World Cup, and it was at the Monumental. And prior to the match itself, the emotion from the fans, the support, the chanting, everything, everything was just incredible. It still gives me goosebumps every time I watch it. And that makes our number 8. And it's not necessarily the match itself. Argentina won 2-0. Thiago Almada and Lionel Messi scored the goals. This is not on the list because of the match. This is on the list because of the moment between the coaching staff and the players and essentially the team with the fans itself. Truly, truly remarkable. Go out of your way to watch it if you haven't. And if you already watched it, go out of your way and certainly watch it again. Coming in at number 7, it's the youth teams at the World Cups. Oh, yes, we did not have a senior tournament, but we certainly had a couple of youth tournaments, and beginning with the under 20 national team. And if you'll remember, Argentina, the under 20 team led by Mascherano, did not qualify for the under 20 World Cup, or so we thought. The team ended up qualifying because Argentina ended up becoming the host nation. Indonesia had to pull out. They were removed as hosts due to political reasons. They were no longer hosts. Argentina became the host country, and Argentina had a decent showing, I suppose, at the World Cup, depending on how you want to look at it. They didn't automatically qualify, as mentioned. They ultimately ended up getting eliminated versus Nigeria in the second round, and the team was a little bit all over the place at times, very entertaining to watch. Sometimes the individual talent really came out of the team. It was beautiful, and then other times you would kind of watch them and you knew something was off with the team, with the tactics or whatever it wasn't always there. To no fault of the players, by the way. I'm not blaming the players for any of this. But that one makes our number 7 for the Under 20 World Cup. But that wasn't the only tournament. Oh, no. We also had the Under 17 World Cup. And what a showing. What a performance by Diego Placente's team. Incredible. Really beautiful to watch. The first match was a little bit difficult, but everything after that was just a joy. And you want to talk about breakout talents? Claudio Echeverri made a name for himself. He was known at youth level with River Plate and made a name for himself on the international stage. But really a beautiful team, effort. They didn't end up winning it. They ultimately got eliminated in the semifinals on penalty kicks in truly heartbreaking fashion. A great match in and of itself, but the team played very well. A 5-0 win versus Venezuela, a 3-0 win versus Brazil, a hat trick by Echeverri, and then that 3-3 penalty loss versus Germany. Agustin Roberto scoring there, and then losing the third place match. But in that age category, when you're 17 and under, it's always difficult to put together a team and see how well they'll do. But credit to Placente, credit to the team. I'm excited to watch them moving forward. And that was our number 7. Getting to number 6, it's the transfers. A lot of Argentine players ended up moving in the transfer market, most notably, of course, Lionel Messi, but there was more than Messi. We had Leandro Paredes joining Roma. We had Gonzalo Montiel joining Nottingham Forest. We had Alexis McAllister going to Liverpool, Di Maria going back to Benfica, and the big money transfer, talking about Benfica, is Enzo Fernandez joining Chelsea from Benfica. And of course, Lionel Messi to Inter Miami was the big one. But a lot of Argentine players on the move after winning the World Cup. In January, a couple of them made the move for Messi. It was, a little bit in the summer. But Enzo was the first big one to make the jump over to the Premier League. Let me know, what do you guys think of his performances so far? I know it's a little bit of a side note, a side question, but let me know. And let me know what you think of this list so far. Would you have put this at number 6? Would you put it higher, lower? Let me know. But I put this at number 6 because, a lot of this has importance. We've seen Enzo's form with Chelsea. We've seen how well Chelsea's playing, or maybe lack thereof. We've seen Di Maria just absolutely shine and do extremely well at Benfica. And this dominated the news. Enzo joining Chelsea, Messi to Inter Miami, Di Maria going back to Benfica, McAllister going to Liverpool, playing with a big club in England. A lot of it made the news. So let me know what you guys think. Now we're getting to number 5. We're halfway there, and I'll be honest with everybody. 5, 4, and 3. You could probably switch them up into whatever order you want. Number 5 for me could even come in at number 3, and 4 at 5, and 4 at 3, and all of that stuff. But coming in at number 5, Lionel Messi's first goal for Inter Miami versus Cruz Azul. And let me explain, because I feel like this might raise a couple of eyebrows, and I totally understand, but let me explain. I was in Miami that week. I was at the match. I was there. I was very fortunate to have lived it all, so to speak. And the atmosphere in the city of Miami, even though Inter Miami don't technically play in Miami, but the atmosphere there, you could tell it was like a big event. It was like a big celebrity. It was like the Rolling Stones were coming into town, or whoever, Taylor Swift or whoever is very popular these days is coming into town. Um, Something was there. You saw the billboards. You saw the kids wearing Messi jerseys, Inter Miami jerseys. You saw adults wearing Inter Miami jerseys, Messi shirts, and Argentina Messi shirts. And it really was Messi mania. It really was. I can't put it any other way. And his goal was the culmination. It was like all that entire week, the emotions all came out when he hit that free kick and Inter Miami won the match and he scored. You couldn't, we've said it before, say it again, you couldn't write a better script than that. And the impact that not only that goal had, but this also maybe ties into number 6 with Messi going to Miami. But this was a global event. This was a global goal. I remember after the match walking back to the car in the parking lot and just opening up not only Twitter or X, but just in general media outlets. And this was all across, this was main page, front page, all across the major news outlets all around the world. It was Messi scoring for Inter Miami, an MLS club. And I say that with the utmost respect, but an MLS club, a goal from them making a headline was unheard of. And only Lionel Messi could have that effect. And that's why this comes in at number 5 for me. Let me know, would you guys have this at number 5? Would you even have it on the list? Let me know. Coming in at number 4, it's the recognition, it's the awards. And this is a 3-part. And you'll see what I mean in just a second. If we go back to February of this year, very early on, we had the FIFA Best Awards. And Argentina, it was a clean sweep. It was a win. It was a massive win. We had Emiliano Martinez being named the FIFA Best Goalkeeper or Men's Goalkeeper. Lionel Scaloni, the FIFA Best Men's Coach. Argentina fans, the best fans in the world. And of course, Lionel Messi, the FIFA Best Player in the world. And that was just in February. If we get to May, we had Messi winning, the Laureus World Sportsman of the Year, becoming the only player to win it twice after having won it in 2020. And then if we get to October, the Ballon d'Or award, we had Messi winning the Ballon d'Or, of course. We had Martinez winning the Yashin Award. We had Lautaro Martinez finishing at number 20 in the Ballon d'Or voting. We had Emiliano Martinez coming in at number 15. We had Julian Alvarez coming in at number 7. And of course, Messi coming in at number 1. So this was a very, very good year, individually speaking, for the Argentina national team. As I mentioned earlier, there were no tournaments for the senior squad, but individually, the awards were there, and they were won by Argentina. So this was beautiful to see, just them picking up the awards and the speeches and everything. So very, very good. I'm glad that they got recognized, getting some good recognition there. Now we're coming up to number 3. And coming in at number 3, we have the Copa America draw. And I said earlier, 5, 4, and 3, you guys could switch them up. Let me know, was I right about that? Was I wrong? But number 3, it's the Copa America draw. This one coming in towards the tail end of 2023. We know Argentina's group for the Copa America. I mean, well, kind of. We know it's going to be Peru and Chile. And the third one will either be Canada or Trinidad and Tobago. But this was a big event. We have the Copa America next year, and you got to know who you're going to face in the group stages. So this was it for Argentina. And the Copa America draw, we spoke about it before. I'll leave the link down below in the comment section or in the description section. We had a whole video where we spoke about it, took your questions, answered them, took your comments, all of that, discussing the Copa America draw for Argentina. Now we're in the top two. And these ones, I'm not going to spoil number one, but we'll get to it. So coming in at number two, Argentina versus Brazil, the last national team match of 2023. And this is everything from before the start of the whistle to the final whistle. So before the match started, obviously Argentina Brazil emotions are always running high. It's, arguably the biggest match in South America. At the Maracana, we know the story. Brazil want that revenge. Argentina won the Copa America there 2 years prior, defeating Brazil in the final. We know the story. We know all of that. And then before the start of the match, we saw the scenes. We spoke about it. The security, the police brutally attacking Argentina fans, the players trying to stop it, the players walking off the pitch, not wanting to play the match. Then they came back. The match took place. Nicolas Otamendi scored. Argentina won 1-0. It was Brazil's first defeat at home in a World Cup qualifier, which is mind-boggling in and of itself as a statistic that they went undefeated. But the fact that Argentina won there for a second consecutive time at the Maracana, kind of like, the holy grail of Brazilian football. If there's one stadium, it's that one. And Argentina went there, got the win, 1-0. The only team to ever do so in a World Cup qualifier versus Brazil. So that one has to be number two for me. Let me know what you guys think of this list so far. There was a lot going on in this match. And coming in at number one, I said earlier, number two, we spoke about everything before the match up until the final whistle. Well, number one is what happened or what was said after the final whistle, and that is Lionel Scaloni announcing or stating or really, a big doubt in regards to his future, his statement saying that he did not know if he was going to continue as coach of the Argentina national team. And I don't think there's a bigger moment of 2023 than that. Unfortunately, it's more, we're ending this more on a sour note or a sour moment, as opposed to just being, hey, Argentina won versus Brazil at the Maracanã, and that's the number one. Instead, this is number one. We've spoken about this at length before, and we'll briefly discuss it again, but this is massive. This is absolutely massive. We're talking about the coach who helped Argentina win the Copa America, helped them win the Finalissima, and helped them win the World Cup, right? And that's something that hadn't been done in 28 years and in 36 years. And this is massive. This is the mastermind, so to speak, behind it all. And essentially saying he's not sure if he's going to continue. And we still don't know if he's going to continue as coach of Argentina. We all hope that he will and that he stays on as coach, but we don't know for a fact if he will or if he won't. But that came after the 1-0 win. He said it at the press conference. No one knew about it. He just kind of said it, and everyone just kind of freaked out in terms of, did we just hear what we heard from Scaloni? And yes, we did. And that's the number one spot of 2023 for Argentina. Like I said, it's not the most positive of news to end 2023 for Argentina, but it's still got to be number one. I can't think of a bigger moment than that one. If you can, or if you do, let me know down below in the comments. Do you agree with my list? Do you not agree with my list? If you do, was there some stuff that you would change around? Was there something I missed? Potentially, there were a lot of moments this year. I tried to really narrow it down to the top 10. So let me know down below what you all think of that. If you like what you saw, hit the like button. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button to be the first person notified as soon as a new video drops. Once more, my name is Roy Nemmer of Mundo Albiceleste.com, and thank you for watching.